Can you move that box really quick?
Okay, it's coming
That
off.
looks much better.
And we're like, there's a box behind it.
Everybody mute for a second. It'll be quiet for a second. All right, this is jpeg2RAW, show number 33, and tonight have both Kathleen and Tim. Kathleen back for a second show after a break, and we have special guests tonight, Ryan and Denise 3.0.
Hey, Ryan, Denise, how are you guys?
Hi.
How are you guys?
So I don't really have, we normally start the show off, Ryan and Denise, with a little bit of news, but they're really, and I haven't seen that much news out there. You know, that they do have some new test shots for the Nikon D800, but you know, that's kind of old news now. Everybody knows about the D800 and how awesome it is compared to the Canon. So I think we'll just get right to you guys. And why don't you guys tell us a little about yourself, like how you guys met? You know, when did you guys meet? Yeah, because y'all are, as far as what I've experienced, y'all are somewhat unique in that there's a husband and wife team who are wedding photographers and who appear to just absolutely love what they're doing.
Well, thanks. That's a nice compliment. We definitely love. What can I say? We're a couple, and we hang out with people who are in love all day long, pretty much. So, why don't you tell them kind of how we met?
We basically met in high school. I was a junior, Denise was a sophomore in high school, and we just kind of dated a little bit, and yeah, only 7 years later I asked her to marry me.
So you dated basically all the way through high school.
There was a few on and off moments for the most part.
Yeah,
But
And then you went to college together, or did you not do college?
no,
Go
go ahead.
We actually, when I graduated high school and started to go to college, that's one of the times where we broke up because I thought I was going to, like, experience something different in college or something. But
College
Yeah.
girls.
He found out that didn't get any better than me.
There you go. That's right.
So now were y'all both into photography all the way back into high school?
Oddly enough, not
really.
really at all. Part of the thing that kind of spurred us on our photography journey was going on our honeymoon. We actually went to London and Paris for our honeymoon and kind of fell in love with travel photography. And then we got home and we're showing our pictures to people, and everyone kept telling us, wow, you guys are like really talented. You should think about becoming photographers. And we didn't really take it that seriously for a few years. But
Were you guys shooting with DSLRs back then, or at least SLRs?
not
No.
on our honeymoon. No, we just had a little, like, Canon point-and-shoot camera.
Yeah.
That I think I even
Yeah.
borrowed from my dad.
Awesome.
Yeah.
yeah, we come from very humble roots as far as photography goes.
Yeah.
So
But,
now that you're photographers, how do you like your wedding pictures that you have from your wedding?
Oh, they're terrible.
Yeah.
They're all friends who shot them, but they weren't very good.
Yeah, we actually use that as a thing that we talk about with our couples a lot, because we really just chose our photographer based off of our budget, and Ryan never even got to meet him. And as you guys probably know, like, your wedding photographer spends more time with you on the day of your wedding than any other vendor you book. And so it was kind of a bummer that, like, our photographer wasn't even very nice to us on our wedding day.
Oh, no.
So we kind of learned a lot of what kind of photographers we didn't want to be from that experience.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I think that goes back to what we we're talking about before the show here, is there's a lot more, the photography business has become much more open, I think. And a lot more creativity has entered. You know, looking at y'all shots, and we'll look at some here in a little bit. It looks like you tailor make the shoot for every couple. You know, where I think back, you know, I was married before you guys were. Back when I was married, they probably had their list of shots that they shoot with every single wedding that are exactly the same. The only thing that's different is the bride and groom swap out. And that's all there is. And like you said, you know, I don't remember spending any time other than the little bit of time we had, you know, photos taken with the photographer. There was no time. He never asked us at all what we would want.
Yeah, and we had that same experience too. like such a big part of our business is getting to know our couples. Like, I mean, we're essentially telling their love story with the photos we shoot on their wedding day, and without knowing the people, how could you do that?
Right. You don't know what's going to be important to them and what's meaningful to them. And a lot of times, if you get to know the couple, then when, you know, the dad comes up and does such and such to the daughter, if you hadn't have talked to her about that relationship, then you wouldn't know how meaningful that was, and you might not even snap the picture, you know?
Yeah,
But once you get to know them, you get those little things.
Yeah.
It looks like in your images that you guys certainly go the extra mile for your clients. Do you guys keep any things in your camera bags to kind of help them out for when things go awry at weddings? When I used to shoot weddings, I used to always keep safety pins, and I've
Yes.
probably pinned 3 or 4 brides into their dress after their whole zipper bust open right before walking down the aisle. So I just always kept a needle and thread and would sew them right in there and say, "Let's go."
We did have a bride whose zipper broke, and it was our safety pin that saved the day, so we've definitely been there too.
Yeah, we do other things too. I mean, we're in Arizona, so it gets pretty hot.
Really
here.
hot.
And so we have little fans, little handheld fans that we bring with us.
Ah, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, there's lots of fans and towels in our backup
Yeah.
gear bag.
Yeah. And I bet the men especially appreciate that, because I remember it's always the guys at the weddings are like, "Oh, seriously, how much longer? I'm like sweating out here in this suit. Seriously, you know?"
Yeah.
They just
Yeah,
want to be done. So I bet they really appreciate you getting on their level and understanding what they're going through and saying, "Let me fan you off now.
Yeah, exactly.
Smile." Yeah.
When they're not using that handhold fan, we're taking advantage of it too.
That's
so.
right. Yeah.
Well, you know, I can't remember how I came across y'all's website, but the video of you guys, we played it while we were waiting for you guys. And that gave us a great opportunity to play that, by the way. So that was awesome. We played that, and you know, everybody out in the stream, you should go to their website and look at it because it's better quality on there than what I can show. But that, I just smile every time I watch that. I smile all the way through it, and it's because of y'all's two smiles, and I can see your passion and how much you love doing what you're doing. And you know, I've said this to you guys, and I've said it on the show before. I will never, ever, ever shoot a wedding. But then I watch you guys do it, and it's like, wow, shooting a wedding must be fun. How do y'all keep it so much fun?
I don't know. I mean, we really genuinely think that it's fun.
Yeah.
There's definitely stressful moments at every wedding, but I think that the fun that we have with each other and with our couples kind of outweighs that.
And I think trying to keep the end in mind too. Like, this is such a special day for these couples. Like, sometimes they're surrounded by chaos, like with families and friends and bridal parties and stuff. And sometimes we're sort of the calming influence there. So just keeping an even keel and really trying to be positive and make everything as fun and exciting and trying to focus them on what your day is really about is something that our couples really appreciate and kind of helps us have fun too.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I wish you guys were around when I got married, because that's you guys are the type of wedding photographer I would like to have had.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
was
A
thinking the
fun
same
couple.
thing when I was looking at your guys' website. I was like, "Oh, how can I just stage another wedding, please?" They would be awesome. They travel. They say they travel.
Exactly.
Well, you know, Kathy, if your husband says one more time, it's the camera that takes the photo, right?
We might get another wedding. That's
Yeah,
right.
You,
Yeah.
you, well, not we, you.
And may
I
not
might
be
get another wedding, yes.
So
Oh.
I have to ask this question, just because I wrote it down. And maybe we should ask it to each one of you, then you have your own chance to answer it one way. Who's the better photographer?
Oh, I don't think that's possible to define, because I honestly think one of the beauties of working as a team like we do is that we each sort of have things that we're especially good at. Like, I think Ryan is so good at finding things like creative, out of the box, like taking a shot in a way that I never would have thought to take it. Like, I totally appreciate that. Going through his images, I'm always like, oh, that's awesome. I would never have taken that way. Like,
And she's really good at getting the emotion out of people. She can really set the mood, kind of, and get people to really feel into it, into the moment, and really get passionate at that time. So,
I felt emotion in a lot of those images. I got to tell you that as I was going through and getting the images last night, there's several times where I got goosebumps because I could feel the emotion in some of those shots. And we'll come over them here in just a second. I also love on your site, and maybe let's see if I can show it here. how y'all have this little section where, and I don't know if y'all can see chat, or you probably can't tell what I'm doing, but I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm to the section where it's got him, her, us, and video.
Oh, yeah.
And I love how in each one of them, you know, you got the little things you guys love, the Cardinals for Ryan, and some other things. But in each one, you include the other one.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and I think that appeals to our couples too. Like, they're at a stage in life where their lives are very much revolving around that central relationship, and having another couple to kind of
relate
and sort of lead the way, another couple who's been in their shoes. Like, it really is all about us being a couple. Like, that's a huge thing that our couples always really enjoy about us.
Well, what I love about your images is that I see the emotion first and the technicalities second, and that's great for me being a photographer, because normally when I look at people's images, my eye goes straight towards, I wonder what their aperture was, or did they use off-camera flash or whatever. And with your guys' pictures, I'm caught up in what the couple is doing or how the couple is feeling, and then I'm also like, oh my goodness, look at that bouquet. That is gorgeous, you know? And I like that that's the order. I like that it's emotion first and technical second. Not that technical is secondary, because it's not. It is awesome. It's spot on, but that the technical is not overriding the emotion, that the emotion is what's coming through the most.
Awesome.
It's really great.
That's also kind of what we have put out on our website. I mean, we want to make sure that we put, for our clients to see and for our potential clients to see, is emotion and you know, a bride tearing up or something like that, rather than a really cool lighting situation or something like
Right, exactly.
Yeah, we kind of laugh at wedding photographers all the time that we talk to are like, why did my couple order a giant canvas print of this image? You know, that was my least favorite picture of anything there. Like, clients care about content. They don't care about the technical. So when it all comes down to it, like, that's what people are looking for, and that's what we try to put out there.
Yeah. It's coming through, so you're doing a really good job of it. So you told us what each of you guys do well. I want to hear about what you each wish you did better, since I know that your photography styles do differ a little bit.
Oh, gosh.
I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, that's hard. It's a tough question. I mean, for me, I mean, as far as, like, my shooting goes, there's always things that you can improve upon. There's always things that you wish you did better. Like, one thing that I've been trying to put more focus on lately is, like, getting more of the scene and the environment, because we're so involved in our couples, and, like, a lot of our images are close up and very feeling oriented, but sometimes I feel like I kind of miss out on the bigger scene, you know, like their venue and some of those details. Like, I'm shooting the bride and groom instead of shooting the groom or the crowd behind them. Mm-hmm. So I think that's, like, something that I kind of would like to see develop more in my own work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's great.
I would kind of say that kind of the same thing. I mean, that sounds dumb, but yeah, just getting more of what other people are seeing, not just what we're focused on. Like, we're focused on the bride and the groom, but try to get what the, you know, what the bride and groom.
What the whole feeling was of the whole day. Yeah. Very cool. I love your guys' website. Who do you guys do your website through?
Show It.
Yeah.
Show It. It's really amazing. And they do your blog as well?
Actually, our blog is it's self-hosted, but it's basically WordPress. We use ProPhoto blog, but we incorporate a lot of our branding and stuff. It's very customizable through them.
Mm-hmm. I love it. It's really great. And I like how under each image you had I love this link, so people can click that. I was, like, scrolling through. I'm like, ooh, I need more time, so I can hit I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. I need more time.
I like the little cutouts of them, or like you guys on the couch.
Yeah, which we're sitting on right now, in fact.
That same couch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who handles the business side of it? Do y'all share that equally, or is one of you gravitate more toward it?
I think we share that. We both have different jobs,
duties.
different things that we are good at and that we do. So we really split it down the middle. I mean, it's kind of nice to be able to do that. We have kind of it written out, like who does what and when exactly we do it and how long it takes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, been working so far.
Yeah. I think a lot of people who are thinking about starting a business in photography don't think too much about the business side of it. They think just about taking good photos. What is your opinion on the mix of the business side versus the photo side?
It's probably 80% business and 20% photos. Yeah, you really have to know your stuff as far as business goes to get started in photography. Being able to take good pictures is awesome, but so many people fail because they don't know the business side of things. And yeah, it's taken us a little while. We're still working on it.
Yeah, but it is like so important. You can't really, as good as your work may be, if you don't have the foundations of your business in a good place, you can easily end up kind of burying yourself in it and not have a good handle on things.
Yeah.
So tell us what your process is. You guys make contact with the bride and groom, you shoot the wedding, you come home, and then what happens?
We usually spend that night looking through the images. We'll come home from a wedding at midnight, and we'll be up until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning looking through our pictures because we're just excited to see.
So I'm going to assume that you don't have children that you're waking up to the next morning, except for your furry one that's barking in the background, right? Yeah.
Yeah, she's our only child as of so far. So.
So yeah, we basically spend the next 4 hours looking because I think really we're just excited to see what the other one shot. Yeah. I kind of know I know what I shot, and she knows what she shot, but I want to see what she shot, and she wants to see what I shot. So that's kind of where the excitement is.
I bet that does make it fun to come home and you kind of know what you got, so you're somewhat excited to see your own, but then to see the other person's, that is exciting.
Yeah, that's exactly. Like kind of the cool part. And then from there, we go through the process usually within a day or two of calling all the images and just narrowing it down. Our average wedding is usually 600 to 800 images, depending on like the length of the wedding and that kind of thing. And
so we shoot
each are combined.
We shoot about 3,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We combine down to the final images will be 600 to 800.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then actually one thing that we've learned a lot over the course of our business is that you should really focus on doing the things that you're good at, not the things that you think you should be good at. And one thing that we realized after our first couple years of getting buried in editing is that editing is not something we super love doing, and it's not something that we are great at. So after we cull those images, we actually send them to shoot.edit to do our basic color correction, exposure correction, and all that kind of stuff. And then they get sent back to us to do the final edits, any retouching, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's great.
They actually are an awesome company for anyone who's looking for that. They have a 48-hour turnaround, even for a 600 to 800 image wedding.
Wow.
Wow.
They rock our socks off all the time.
Yeah, I can't call and edit my own images in 48 hours.
Yeah, no way.
No. There's just no way.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people are a lot more efficient than I am, but see, that's for me, that's where my creative side like gets the best of me, because I'll sit there for 45 minutes to an hour looking at one image edited 2 different ways and be like, I don't know, this way? Do I like it this way? Or what if I upped this a little bit? Ooh, now I have 3 I have to choose from. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
See, Kathleen, I spend that much time and I'm still at a point where I don't have one I like.
Yeah.
It's just not
We
working.
got 3 good ones. That's a good problem to have, right?
Well, and then the funny thing is that I'll get so excited and I'll post one on Facebook and then I'll re-edit it. I'm like, dang it, why did I post it on Facebook? Because now I like this one so much better, you know? Oh,
What was the name of
ridiculous.
what was the name of those editors again?
Shoot.edit, all strung together.
Okay.
Not spelled out.
How do they charge you like
Yeah,
per
I put a link
image?
in there
What
already,
is
Mike.
it?
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah,
thank you.
I think it's like 30. I
I
want
thought
to
it
say
was like
I
26.
think they went up. I think they're like 34 cents an image or something like that.
Yeah.
You're kidding me. That's great.
Yeah,
I might be giving them a call.
for the amount of time that you spend doing it yourself, you cannot beat outsourcing it to someone who really knows what they're doing, and they're going to take great care of you. And then in those, 10 hours you would have spent doing that editing, you can have a life or do something else for your business.
So
Yeah.
are you sending them a raw image, or are you sending them a JPEG or raw? And
Yeah,
then what are they sending back? Are they sending like a PSD file with all the layers?
No, they just send back the XMPs.
And we do our editing in Lightroom, so all we have to do is drop the XMPs into Lightroom.
Oh
and
my gosh.
drop out.
Yeah.
They just send you the XMP. You know that Kathleen, that is the the sidecar image. If you're working in Lightroom, Lightroom does not actually edit the photo itself at all.
Okay.
It's completely non-destructive, even if you're cropping.
So the XMP is the image that's being edited, not your
Yeah,
RAW.
like the edits.
Yeah, really, the XMP is just like coordinates. It says in these pixels I did this, and these pixels I did that. Basically, I may be saying that wrong, but it's basically just a coordinates of the entire image and saying what was done to it. So that's the beauty of Lightroom, is that absolutely nothing is destructive.
Yeah.
All right, so
And
that XMP is just going right over your Lightroom file that's in there already. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's great. I never actually heard of that.
Me either.
Yeah. It's a brilliant system, and since the XMPs are so small, they just email them back to you in a zip file, so you don't have to worry about the upload and download process.
Yeah, you just it works.
Right, because it's not the actual file they're sending back. They're just sending what the changes are applied to each, as long as you don't change the file name, obviously.
Exactly.
So you just import those XMPs into Lightroom, and it automatically adjusts the images for you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you can actually
smart.
see it. It's actually fun to watch them change.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's like it looks
That
awesome.
looks awesome.
Have you ever had an image come back where you're just like, no, that's not what I wanted?
happens
Sometimes.
sometimes.
I mean, sometimes it's a good idea if you are going to work with a company like that a lot to let them know what you were thinking in an image. Sometimes, every once in a while, we'll do a silhouette or something like that, and their default is to expose for the subject's skin tone. So you'll get it back and you're like, whoa, that is not what I was going for. But for the most part, they do a great job.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
there's a little comment box when you submit your order that you can let them know if there's any specific thing, if you did a silhouette or something.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Very cool.
Yeah,
I'm
that is-
checking that out.
That is awesome. I never thought about that before.
My husband might pay for that. He might be so happy about it.
Yeah, well, like I told you, Kathleen, it's the camera, then the editing, then the lens, and then because you
Don't
gotta
listen to him.
gotta have somebody
Don't.
push the button. It's the photographer last.
Don't listen to him. Well, if it's the camera, then I feel like I need the 5D Mark III very quickly.
So-
if it's the camera.
And I'm just picking on Kathleen, but you just hit on a brilliant idea for you, not for me.
What's that?
You should tell him that.
What?
Honey, it obviously is
camera.
all the camera, so I need
Exactly.
I need that new camera.
You keep talking trash during our family photo shoots, and you're going to be buying me a new camera, buddy.
Speaking of hardware, what do you guys shoot, Ryan and Denise?
We use the D700. We shoot Nikon. I think we talked about that before. Yeah, we love Nikon. We actually have a D800 on the way whenever we.
Oh, awesome!
Yay.
Yeah. So we'll be D700 and a D800 pretty soon.
Who gets to shoot the D800?
Ryan.
Aww.
So you both have D700s right now?
What's that?
You both have D700s?
Actually, I shoot with a D300.
Yeah, we kind of are in this weird transition. We upgraded one camera, but we knew the 800 was coming out, and so we didn't want to upgrade to another 700 when we knew the 800 was right around the corner. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's good. That's good how you're stair-stepping it. It's probably more financially beneficial for your business.
oh yeah, for sure.
And I've really found that it really has a lot more to do with, for me, I think, the lens than the camera.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
it does.
really what we spend our money on is, I think, our lenses.
yeah, for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
hmm
So what lenses do you use? That's the obvious next question.
Our favorites are the 50.
Yeah, we both
have
love our
50
50
1.4.
millimeters. But we use a variety of things. I tend to really like shooting primes, and Ryan shoots kind of a combination, but we have the 70 to 200. We have a 105 macro. What else? A 28 millimeter.
Do you guys share lenses between the two of you, or do you each have your own set so you can change on the fly when you need to?
We each have our own.
Yeah, I saw that you guys are using shoot sacks. Are you both using the shoot sack?
We don't anymore. No.
Actually, yeah. We just got new bags.
We've actually,
You
so
did.
we started with the shoot sack, and then we went to, have you guys heard of Kelly Moore bags?
Yeah?
We did those. She actually still loves her
I
Kelly
still
Moore
love
bag.
it.
It's kind of like a purse, too.
It's cute.
Yeah, and I tried the one it's called the Kelly, the boy bag or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And it was just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's a little too bulky for him.
Yeah, too
Mhm.
bulky. So and you can't really get in between the seats at the reception
Yeah.
very well with it.
Right, if you're tight, yeah.
Yeah. So we went to WPPI. There is a bag that we're really looking forward to seeing there, and we ended up just buying it on the spot.
Yeah. It's what's it called?
It's the one bag.
By
The one bag.
Undefined?
Undefined, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of that?
I haven't heard of that.
The one
It's
bag?
called The One Bag by what?
Undefined, like
Undefined.
UNDEFIND.
Okay. Very
And
cool.
it's actually one of the cool things about it is it kind of combines like the size and shape of like a Kelly Moore bag, but it has the same type of material, that like stretchy neoprene that the shoot sacks are made of, so it has a lot more give and forms to your body a lot more.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
and the
nice.
strap is like super comfortable, so it
Yeah.
doesn't hurt your shoulder. We actually shot 2 weddings last weekend, and
And is it a sling? Is that what you guys have, the sling?
Yeah.
Very cool.
2 weddings last weekend. Is one Saturday, one Sunday?
Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Friday,
Friday,
Saturday. Okay.
Got another one coming up like
Yep.
that this weekend
This
too.
Do you guys get blisters on your fingers? Because I used to leave weddings with blisters on my fingers from shooting too much. That's
Not
ridiculous.
really.
I didn't know what I was doing either, so I was shooting like 5,000 images from my camera.
Holy
So-
moly.
Yeah, we
Don't even get me started.
We've gotten blisters, but we definitely get sore the day after. For
Oh
sure.
yeah, you feel like you got hit by a truck. I really loved how your price page was set up on your website. It didn't feel like a typical rates page. And for those of you guys in chat, I would love for you guys to go look specifically at their price page. You need to see their whole website, but specifically their price page, because it's something I haven't seen before. Your prices, each page looked like a completely different piece of marketing. And I didn't sit there I didn't sit there feeling like I was just looking at an informational page of, all right, how much is this going to hurt me? You know, every page it slides by looked like something that could be on a billboard somewhere saying, this is why you need to pick us. Here's another reason. Here's another reason. And so it took the focus off the price and put the focus onto what they're getting. And I was sold. I was like, when's my wedding? It was really good. You guys really thought that out well, and I love how you put it all together.
And I'm showing it in the I'm showing it now in the chat, Kathleen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we went through several different kind of boring run-of-the-mill price pages and kind of came upon that idea and thought, you know what, nobody wants to think about price when they're making a purchase. So making them feel something and think about what they're getting just seemed like the natural way to go.
Yeah.
Well, I'm totally ripping it off, but for newborns,
Go for it.
I don't know how I'm going to do it for newborns, but I'm going to find a way. Oh, isn't this baby cute? $500.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Babies, don't focus on the prize.
That's right.
Well, you know, you talk about emotion in the images. I wanted to go to something y'all call first look,
Ah.
and I'm pulling that up now on the webpage. And what I have is the FAQ, the first look, where you got the guy in the foreground and the bride and behind him.
Uh-huh.
Why don't y'all tell us a little bit about that? Because I got to imagine when he turns around, that is a that's a very critical time. That's a emotional time.
It's one of my favorite parts of the day because it's really when they get together themselves, like it's just the two of them before the wedding, so that they're going into their wedding together as a team rather than not really knowing how the other person is doing. It's really fun. I actually get to stand there with the groom and talk to him and really like pump him up and be like, aren't you so excited to see, like, I already saw your bride, she's so beautiful.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
You get to see her in like 2 minutes.
Oh, your groom is so excited. Oh, I think I saw some tears in his eyes. Like, it's going to be so great to see him.
Yeah, so and I'm there with the groom, so I'm getting all my settings and my camera, and then Denise and I actually have little walkie-talkies, and sometimes I'll just radio her like my settings so that she knows what to do real quick.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, and then she gets there, and she gets the groom's reaction, and I get the bride's reaction, and it's really cool. We know we both stand on the same side, so we're not in each other's shots.
Uh-huh.
And
You
some
have it down to a science.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, in some couples, you know, it's definitely kind of a sales piece there, talking to couples about what a first look is and how it changes your wedding day. Like, it's the difference between having that moment of seeing each other in front of, 200 people or actually having minutes to yourself, which are so precious and are the only minutes you're going to have to yourself on your wedding day. So,
well, you guys are doing a really great job marketing that as well, because back when I was doing weddings eons ago, that was always like a tension point when I was talking to my brides, because I would kind of ask them like, all right, so are we being traditional and, you know, going to see each other for the first time at the altar? Or, you know, do you want to see him before because, you know, time-wise, your wedding's at, you know, 7 p.m. and the sun sets at 7:15 and we're out of luck, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I was always like keeping my fingers crossed that they'd say, no, we're open for whatever. But never in a million years did I think of like marketing it as something cool. And the way that you explained it about having that personal one-on-one time so you can be on the same page and enter your wedding day as a team. That's so great. I mean, I can't imagine someone saying, no, I like to be separate. Yeah, don't want to see him. Don't want to be on the same page. No team effort here. Let's just, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you're really selling it, and it's good.
For our wedding, our photographer just said, do you guys want to see each other before the wedding? And we said no, and he was like, okay, moving on. Like, he just went to the next question. So it, yeah, that's it. We wish that we would have had that experience.
Yeah, we totally would have done it now, but we didn't know back then.
Yeah.
We were the first of our friends to get married too, so we hadn't really seen anybody who went that route. So
Yeah.
Right.
it's all about educating your clients.
Yeah. Well, it's great. It's really great. Who does your albums? Is it Kiss albums?
Yeah, we use
Don't
Kiss.
you love them?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just started using Kiss, and they're simple.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you use Slot to design your albums?
Yeah, that's who I used.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's just simple, and once again, the focus is on your pictures. It's not on, you know, are you going to do a metal cameo, or are you going to have, you know, all this jazz going on the side. Like, the focus is your pictures, and when you have pictures that are this good, there should be nothing to distract from them. And
Yeah.
Kiss does a really good job of keeping it simple and making the focus be the image.
Totally. Like,
Yeah.
that was what attracted us to them for sure, because I mean, when we first started our business and we're looking at all these album companies, like, I didn't even understand all the options.
It's so
It's not
daunting,
like-
isn't it? It like wore me out.
Yeah.
I was like, I just read one website on how to build an album, and I'm ready for a nap. Like, I don't even know how to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, we've tried several other album companies, and we love Kiss. They're definitely the best. by
And
far.
their quality is just fantastic.
Their quality is great. Their turnaround time
It's
is amazing.
And their customer service is great too, and I really loved how I was getting those tracking emails saying, your album is now doing this, your album is now
Yeah.
doing this, so it kind of kept you up to date, letting you know.
Yeah.
You know, it'd actually be a really good thing to put into practice in a photography business, you know. Just
Yeah.
got through picking your images, can't wait. Just got through editing your images, can't wait. Just uploaded them to your website, you got to go see them, you know, that sort of thing to keep them
Yeah, totally.
on the edge of their
Good idea.
seats.
Yeah.
You can have that idea. Do you guys use off-camera flash in any of your images?
We do, yeah. We try not to do it to overdo it, but if there's a nice sunset, there's some clouds in the sky or something like that, we'll try to do that towards the end of the shoot, like for an engagement session.
Are you using a are you putting a softener over your flash, or are you using like the hard flash?
We're using the hard flash now.
At the
we
moment.
we actually just ordered a softbox that we're going to be getting on Friday.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know.
Well, what you're doing looks great, and it actually looked really soft to me. So you must have had it pretty dialed down or something.
Yeah. That's
And I've seen the hard image, the hard flash do really well too. I like both looks. They're for different reasons. But with your guys' photography, I wouldn't just define it as like drama and serious. I would define it as like fun and like
Fun,
the
yes.
connections and the emotions, which to me, like you said, would probably be more of a softbox image.
Yeah, for sure. For
Definitely.
sure.
Yeah, and for receptions, we definitely use off-camera flash a lot. We don't use it for every picture, but we have it in the background. We always set it up.
Yeah.
So.
It adds a lot of interest to, you know, boring ballroom dance
Yeah.
shots kind of stuff. So it's nice to have a little bit of pop in those with the off camera.
Okay, so one question I had written down was, do you guys ever dance at the weddings?
Oh, sure.
Well, like with each other or just with your camera in hand kind of dancing?
Well, both. We want to know both.
I
We
don't
definitely we have some fun at weddings.
Yeah.
I mean, usually we have our camera in our hands, but
Uh-huh.
we're dancing. Sometimes the couples make us dance. And
Yeah,
we're
they
like,
drag
"All
us in
we'll go
there
with
every
it."
once in a while. But my thing is, like, I'm a pretty brave person when it comes to most things, but, like, dancing in front of people mortifies me. Like, I can sing in front of people, but I cannot dance in front of people, so I try to, you know, keep my dance moves on the down low whenever possible.
You know what? I didn't fast dance at my own wedding.
You didn't?
That was the one time I did, because I was like, I'm the bride. They can't make fun of me.
Little did you know.
Well, you're the bride. You're not the groom.
Yeah. What about reflectors? Do you guys take reflectors with you to your weddings?
We do, yeah.
Yeah, we definitely do.
Yeah, we use them pretty much on every shoot. There's always some that we need to block or pop a little light into a picture, into an image. So yeah, we definitely.
And so in that case, do you guys kind of work in tandem? Like one of you hold the reflector?
Just recently, we've been hiring assistants.
Yeah,
so,
to come with us for a couple hours.
Because we both have our different angles that we like to get on shots, and we don't really want to miss out on that.
Yeah.
Hold the reflector.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's.
Until recently, we've been kind of divide and conquer. Like, if you set up the shot, then I'll hold the reflector, kind of a thing. But it'll be really nice going into the season having consistent assistants to help us out with
So
that.
you'll each have your own assistant?
No, we'll have one assistant for each one.
Just one? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
And we typically like to do that with, you know, photographers who are learning or just want to shadow a photographer on a wedding and see what it's like. Just have them come and hang out with us for a couple of hours, and
yeah.
Yeah, we actually just put that out there on Facebook a few weeks ago and just asked for people who want to learn and be our assistant for the day, and we actually got a lot of responses.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh,
That's great. That's really good.
Yeah.
And I had the image come up a minute ago that was, we're going through, now I don't remember which one these are, because I put them in 3 buckets. You had your three favorite buckets: weddings, engagements, and what was the third bucket? I can't remember now. But anyway, bridal? Yes. Yeah, so we're going through some of those. And this one is one where the woman's in a white dress holding red roses, and he is in a light-colored suit.
I love that look on her face.
She's got her hand over her mouth like that.
So sweet.
Audrey and Aaron.
Yeah, that was
actually a first look. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That was the first look,
Oh, and
that
he
was
took
her
a
reaction.
picture on his phone. How stinking cute is that?
Yeah.
That's adorable.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, the next shot, the one that you're talking about, Kathleen,
Mm-hmm.
where the phone is the BlackBerry is in focus.
Yeah, he's the BlackBerry.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah, he posted that to Facebook like a second later.
He's like, do you guys care if I take a Facebook pic? And we're like, yeah, we'll take a picture of you taking a Facebook picture.
I love it. Every picture, there's something that kind of grabs me and makes me go like, oh, because you feel like they did on their wedding, like the image of the girl who is obviously a bridesmaid or someone helping the bride get dressed, being so giddy and excited to see her in her dress. Like, that's such a cool feeling, and you guys captured it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, Kathleen. There's several of these when I went through that I got goosebumps when I was looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
That one where the girl had her hand over her mouth, the bride, I could feel the emotion in that shot.
Look at their faces looking at each other, the bride and the groom. That is so sweet.
You guys probably can't see what we're looking at, can you?
We know what you're talking about, though. Just describing them, we can definitely know which ones you're looking
at. Are you kidding? They're up till 4 in the morning looking at their pictures. They know what we're talking about.
Well, but you know, the other thing was, it was hard for me to pick the ones I wanted to show because there's so many good ones, and we can't just have a slideshow go for 3 hours here.
Well, I love the one you just had up there of the bride with her 2 bridesmaids at the bar with the martini.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
I mean, the lighting behind it is really what makes the shot as well. It's not just that typical hard flash shot. The background's got the nice lighting as well.
Yeah, and actually that was a wedding that was at the Arizona Biltmore, and it poured rain. It was a destination wedding for this whole couple who brought their entire family, and it poured. So we had to kind of improvise and do what we needed to do and make sure that we just made those shots as awesome as they could be and captured what the Biltmore was like on the inside rather than the outside.
And they were really stressed out, so we bought them some drinks. And
yeah. Loosen up, folks. Loosen up. Yeah. Can't take it now.
How far in advance? I know this one where the bride and groom are on a waterfront and there's the light behind them. I love the lighting in this shot.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's just a little bit of off camera,
Yeah.
Just a great time of the night, really.
Yeah. All about the timing when it comes to that stuff.
The blue hour.
Yeah, exactly.
And this must be the one you're talking about, Kathleen, where
Yeah.
the girl's got her hands together like
she's
this.
just so excited for her.
She
She's
is
like,
so
look
excited.
at you in your dress.
Yeah.
It's
So
going to be
Ryan,
me soon.
Ryan and Denise, how far in advance are y'all booking a wedding? Uh-oh.
It's gotten a lot shorter.
Yeah.
We used to book weddings a year in advance all the time, and now it's about 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, I think in the last 2 years, we've definitely seen that time change pretty radically. And I think part of it, a couple of brides have told us that, like, articles on The Knot and stuff like that, talking about planning your budget with, you know, it being kind of hard financial times, is that they're telling people to book things later so that they can spread out their payments kind of a thing and don't have everything coming due at the same time. So I think, you know, as you all probably know, like, when it comes to the weddings, The Knot is the go-to place, so what The Knot says goes.
Yeah. Well, how many wedding? I mean, not how many. Well, I guess how many weddings, but how many sessions do you guys like to do a month? Like, what's your goal as far as how many sessions you'd like to do a month?
I think it would be great if we could do just every month consistently do 4, just do 1 a weekend,
Yeah.
and then maybe in the summertime do 2 a weekend.
Yeah.
Or 2 a month.
I mean, Arizona is so seasonal. During that, you know, June, July time, you almost don't want to be out shooting because it's pretty nasty.
Yeah.
So we kind of end up having really packed times of year, like the spring and the fall, and then slower summers just because of the heat.
Yeah.
Now, is this a full-time gig for both of you, or do either of you guys have other jobs that you hang on to?
It's a full-time job for me. Denise actually has another job that she is still at. The benefits are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of
There
those
you go.
hard to leave kind of jobs.
Yeah.
It doesn't really interfere with our business, and it's a nonprofit. She loves doing it, so she's still there for now.
Eventually, when we get to the point where I leave, it will be a tough decision, mostly because I actually do enjoy what I do and like the idea that when I go to work every day, it's for a good cause.
Yeah. I can tell you when it's going to be right now if you'd like all of my wisdom. It's going to be when you have kids.
I'm sure that's going to be a big change factor for us.
Yeah. It'll be when you have kids, I'm sure.
You said benefits, so like health insurance you're probably getting through your job?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a tough.
That's
Health
tough.
insurance is so expensive if you got to buy it on your own.
Yeah, for sure. And the fact that it's 2 of us makes it that much harder. You know, like a lot of photographers have a spouse who has a regular job kind of a thing, and so they can use their benefits. But it does make it hard when both of you are both trying to be full-time photographers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so share with us, like, do you guys find yourself sitting at pretty consistent apertures? Like, since you're shooting with the 50, how wide open do you guys normally go, or do you guys usually, what do you keep it at normally?
Typically, I'm at between a 2 and a 2.8.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think you changed too much either.
No, I mean, I kind of, there's a lot of photographers who shoot really wide open, and for whatever reason, that look doesn't seem to work as well with our styles. We like to have a little bit more in focus, so so I tend to stick right around 2.8. You know, if the setting warrants it, then I'll go up to a little higher to get a different look and whatnot, but for the most part, I kind of stick right around that area.
I'm not sure, I mean, I've heard that it can be done, but I'm not sure how easy it would be to get 2 people consistently, both of them in focus, going any wider than a 2.8. Even at a 2.8, I think it's pretty impressive how clean and crisp and sharp both of your subjects are. If you were to give us any tips on how to keep both people in focus at such a wide aperture, what would be some tips that you can share with us?
Don't be too close.
Yeah, don't be too close. Be very mindful of how your distance to subject.
Like, how far are you guys away normally?
Well, it depends on the shot, really.
Yeah.
But the closer you are to them, the bigger a difference that depth of field shows up in your image. I mean, it's kind of like, this sounds dumb, but if you're like looking at your finger, if you look at your finger from far away and it's in focus, everything around it is pretty close. But if you move it close to your face, suddenly the stuff in the background is very, very blurry, and your finger is the only thing that's clear.
Gotcha,
So it works the same way with your camera settings.
Okay.
And I think, like, the other big tip that we would say too is to keep your subjects on the same plane. Like, as long as you could keep them within the same distance to camera, that will make sure that both of your subjects are clear.
Unless you're going for that blurry look.
Right.
Right, yeah.
And we've talked about that before, about the focus plane, you know, that as long as they're on that same plane, they should be in focus.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, booking these things several months out in advance, what happens if one of you gets sick? Or,
It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. I don't. Honestly, our bodies, like, I don't ever get sick. Denise gets sick sometimes, but they're paying us a lot of money to shoot their wedding. It's a big day. We just put it and don't think about it. You know?
I think we would have to be in like a gravely ill condition to ever miss a wedding, and if that's the case, then one of us would shoot it. And we do have a great network of other photographers around us who we already have relationships with, and we know are similar in style. So we would probably call upon one of them to come in and help us out if that were to ever happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's why we, really a necessity to have in your business is somebody you can call on like that.
For sure, for sure.
I seriously love your guys' style.
Aw, thank you.
I really love it. It's beautiful.
Not just the fun part. Heck, I almost would like to be one of your assistants just to hang out with you guys.
Sure. Well, you're a little far away, but if you're going to be in the area, you let us know.
A little bit far away, yes. I have not made it out to Arizona in a long time. But yeah, it looks like a party the whole time. So looking at your photos, and I know that like the first look, that one you definitely you're working with the bride, you're working with the groom. But a lot of the other images, how much are you staging, or how much is just being there and waiting for the moment?
Really, we don't stage well. We try to we'll set up a shot, and then we'll just kind of have them interact with each other. I mean, we're very photojournalistic. We don't like to pose everything.
Yeah. Even in our couple sessions kind of thing.
So, yeah, we'll talk to them. Sometimes we'll set up a little scene, like very small, and then our couples really make it work. They're great at interacting with each other and loving on each other. We basically, when we do it, especially for engagement sessions, we tell them that, there's so much pressure right now from your wedding. We want this to be a relaxing environment. Denise usually says this.
Well, I tell them like that when you're at your engagement session, the images are secondary. What's important is that you walk away from the session being even more in love with your future spouse than you were before.
Oh, you're so good.
And we learned that from other great photographers, like the Youngrens are a great couple who are other photographers who we kind of picked up that train of thought from, and it's just worked extremely well. And just trying to get them focused on each other, like that makes it like neither one of us really loves posing people. Like there's some elements of that in everything, but if you got an awesome couple that are really focused on each other, they're naturally going to do things that you're going to want to photograph.
Yeah, and we basically tell the bride and the groom, we tell the groom that he has one job, and that's to love on his fiancée.
To make her smile and laugh and feel good all day.
And then she has one job, and that's to let him.
Very good. We had a photo come up a few minutes ago where it's a bride, a couple that we've seen a number of times in these images, where behind them was like I guess it was sunset, and they looked like they were very well lit. Like obviously you used a flash to light them. Do you know which image I'm talking about?
Yeah. I think so.
Okay.
She had like freckles.
Yes. I loved that whole session.
Yes, that whole session.
Yeah, that was like knock it out of the park kind of session. That was a great one.
Thanks. They're just like the perfect couple. Like,
yeah, they literally are our ideal clients wrapped up into one. So we're like, go recruit more of your friends, you guys, because you guys are awesome.
Yeah.
But in that case, we did use off-camera flash to light them and let them be the focus and pull them off of that awesome colored backdrop.
Okay, so with a shot like that, are you guys exposing for the sky, or are you exposing for them?
We exposed for the sky. I think we were on like an F11 for that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely exposing for the background and then popping in some flash.
Yeah.
So where is your autofocus points, though? It's still on the couple.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, and then you're just lowering it so to your eye, the couple almost looks dark, but you know that pop of the flash is going to fill it up.
Yeah, so if we didn't use that extra flash, they would be dark.
It would be a silhouette if it were shot otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool.
Flash.
And
I
actually,
love these silos in the back. That's really cool.
I'm actually on their page now, Kathleen. I have the blog post
Yeah, I love this whole session.
of that.
With the sky in this picture, with the silos in the back, the girl's laying in the guy's lap, and they've got the guitar in the background. Did you guys enhance the sky at all?
Not,
I don't think so.
not really. I mean,
Like up the saturation a little bit, even?
possibly very slightly, but we really don't do a lot of editing that is outside the norm. Like, we really like all of our images to have a very clean, classic feel and look like they actually looked when we shot them. So we don't do a whole lot of strong, like, more artistically edited images. But in a case where there's like an awesome colored sky, on occasion we'll up the saturation a little bit, or up the why can't am I drawing a blank on what they're called? But there's like a set of bars in Lightroom.
The vibrancy slider?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So sometimes we do that, but most of the time we pretty much shoot.
Are you guys all in Lightroom, or do you use Photoshop for anything?
We are almost all in Lightroom.
Like
we
95%.
we try not to ever open Photoshop.
It takes too long.
It does. It takes too long.
I'm really working my way towards that, and I have to date one photo shoot that I did everything in Lightroom, and I was just like, wow, that was so nice.
Yeah.
It was so nice. The only thing that I really am not like upset with Lightroom about is they're stupid, and I can call it stupid because it is stupid. Their stupid tool to take blemishes off. I'm like, come on. You've been so intuitive about everything else, and that is really lacking. They've got to up the ammo on that, because that's the only reason I feel like I have to open Lightroom at this point. I mean, Photoshop.
Yeah,
Kathleen, that's one of the main reasons I pop it in.
you have to adjust
Photoshop.
I just
Say that
don't
again?
like it. What did you guys say?
Denise, you said you have to invest in something. I didn't hear that.
You're breaking up a little bit.
They look like they're in the witness protection program.
No, I'm sorry. This was not the plan.
Yeah, much better. What did you say? You have to
Is
do
that a little bit
what?
better?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Actually, I think we were just asking about Tim's comments about like what do you open Photoshop for?
Yeah, I would
like,
open
just
it up for
retouching
retouching.
that
And
kind of thing?
I still don't know if I'm as comfortable in Lightroom as I want to be. I still have a long way to go before I feel like I could. Like I said, I've done one photo shoot where I said, I am staying in Lightroom. I'm not leaving Lightroom. I'm staying here. And I made myself get all the way through it. And I end up really loving the images that I did from that section all in Lightroom.
Well, Kathleen, you're a newborn photographer, which means you do a lot of composite stuff. Which
I don't do a lot. I do, every photo shoot probably has one or two composites that I have to do, but the main reason why I'm going into Photoshop, other than the composites that I do, is for blemishes. It's to get the baby's skin, to touch it up, because their skin is so smooth that when they do have a blemish, the tool that's in Lightroom most of the time will leave a rim around where I used it, and I hate it. So.
the spot healing on Lightroom, I mean on Photoshop is superior.
There's nothing like it. I can go click, 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 done.
So if
You'd think that Lightroom would be good at this, because Lightroom is really meant for the photographer, which is really what you're trying to get rid of sometimes. So I'm surprised that they did not do a better job of implementing that.
I'm not surprised, because they're both owned by Adobe.
Yep,
and
they want to sell
know
both.
That if they're
Well, I
going
own
to lose
both.
their Photoshop business if they give us better cloning tools in Lightroom, because there's a lot of people who are jumping on the it's so much faster in Lightroom bandwagon, and it is. That seriously, if they allowed us to do composites and better of the blemish tool, I mean, Photoshop would really.
Well, I think my favorite part is the non-destructive editing, and I can always clone an image, which is attached right next to it if I want to edit it in Photoshop then and have a permanent edit to it. So that's probably the main reason I like Lightroom over Photoshop.
Well, I will tell you one thing for everyone who's listening that I just recently realized, which is ridiculous, but I was shooting in RAW, and then I would pull my images into Lightroom and cull them and then open them up into Photoshop to do all my edits, and I wasn't opening them as smart objects. I was just saying edit in Photoshop. And so then Lightroom automatically, you know, according to my settings, was changing the image from a raw image into a TIFF. And so then all of my edits I was doing on a TIFF. So I might as well have been shooting in JPEG, really. But I just realized that if I open in as a smart image in Photoshop, then it retains those properties of a raw image while I do my edits, and then when I'm done with my edits in Photoshop, then it changes it to a TIFF to export it back into Lightroom, which makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that.
You can set that up in Lightroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you right click, it says edit in Photoshop, which would automatically change it into whatever extension you've told it to change your images into, or it says edit image as a smart objects in Photoshop. So you have to be intentional. And I don't even think that there's a shortcut about editing it as a smart object. I'd have to look into that.
Well, I noticed in my in Lightroom 4.0 that I tried to import a picture into Photoshop the other day, and I guess my camera's the newest Sony, and the RAW format is not in there in the Adobe RAW. It needs Adobe RAW 7.0, and I went to Adobe, and they don't have it. I'm like,
yeah,
well,
that's every camera though. Every camera, when you get Lightroom 4, every camera is going to tell you that you need Adobe RAW 7.0, and it doesn't exist yet. So
okay, so it wasn't me. I'm like, I can't find it.
No, it's not just you. It's anyone who gets Lightroom 4 and upgrades. You're going to get that error, and you're going to go to Google, and you're going to Google what's happening to my screen, and everyone's going to see the same thing that I just told you. So
yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's everybody. What's that?
You guys all use Lightroom 4 now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got it last week.
Well, I'm still in Lightroom 3. I've been running a beta of Lightroom 4. I just haven't bought Lightroom 4 yet.
No.
Brian and Denise, you're Lightroom people, and you don't have Lightroom 4?
No,
do.
Ryan does. I've been resistant to the change because there's a few tools that are so much more readily available that I use all the time in Lightroom 3.
She likes the fill light.
Yeah, like they changed, and also like the brightness tool they've changed.
Yes, because
Yeah, they definitely changed those and developed.
I was using fill light and brightness, and what I have found in Lightroom 4, Denise, is if you pull up your shadows, you can get the same effect. But it's just...
I know. I just don't like to change.
I know. I don't like it either. Yeah.
Well, for anybody out there in chat or listening to this later, if you buy Lightroom 4 and you're going to do it through Amazon or Adorama, go through our website first and click on the little Amazon or Adorama link, and then we'll get a little bit of credit. And we're still got the Lightroom 3 giveaway going on. Yay. So, Ryan, Denise, we're actually giving away 2 copies.
Nice.
Of Lightroom 3. Yeah, you know, we're talking about Lightroom 4, and if you win one of these, then you can, and you want to go to Lightroom 4, you can get the upgrade price.
Yeah, I
Very
think it's
cool.
like $80 to upgrade.
Yeah,
Right.
which is certainly affordable.
Yeah.
You know what, though, Denise, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if I were to be able to go backwards, I don't know if I would have paid for Lightroom 4. If they would have upgraded the edit tool, the little whatever you call it, blemish tool, then that would have been worth it to me. But otherwise, everything else is the same. It's just in different places.
Yeah.
It's just in different places.
You can actually choose to go back to the 2010, which is Lightroom 3 version of the tools. If you go all the way down to the bottom, if you scroll down to the bottom in develop mode.
I mean, I'm used to it now, so it's not a big deal. It's not about wanting to go backwards as much as it was saving the 70 or 80 bucks that I spent on doing it, thinking it was going to be that much better. I haven't used the whole export to email thing yet. That might be pretty cool. And I haven't used the bookmaker thing yet. You have to print through Blurb, though. Have you guys used Blurb before?
No.
Yeah, I've used it before, and it's nice for something simple and little, but it's no comparison to Kiss. No comparison. So you guys won't be using it anyway.
But I would bet you that they will add some plugins or something like that, and they'll expand that book thing down the road, I think.
You think so?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, go ahead.
Before we get off the topic of Lightroom, Kathleen, there's something that we recently started doing with our images that has vastly decreased the amount of retouching that we're doing.
And it works awesome on babies, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, let's hear this.
Please tell me.
We actually lower the clarity to -15 or -30 on almost every image.
And
Stop it right now. I'm trying that. Lower clarity.
And in a way, at first, like, it was a little bit of an adjustment because we always used to set our clarity at like +15 to kind of give it that really sharp, crispy look.
On every picture.
But we also we also sharpen our images in Photoshop after the fact, batching. So this gives it kind of like just a softer look to the skin tones in the image.
But it doesn't decrease the sharpening either.
Yeah.
It stays sharp. It's awesome.
It really has been extremely handy. And we've been using that for like a month or two now, and it really has made a huge difference.
You can actually use, if you take the little adjustment brush and do the clarity, and you can knock that down to, you know, whatever you want it to be, 50% minus. Yeah. Anything minus is going to smooth out the skin. So if you wanted to paint it on, Kathleen, and Lightroom does, in my opinion, does a really good job of feathering those adjustment brush adjustments, so you don't see hard lines.
I don't even know how to use the adjustment brushes yet. Don't even get me started. I've got to learn.
And somebody out in chat said, you know, hearing more about Lightroom just makes them more nervous about opening their box. I guess they have Lightroom 3 and they haven't opened the box yet.
You got to do it. It's a great program.
If you know, it's a lot easier to use than Photoshop. That's for sure. Photoshop.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and I think, you know, just give yourself some time, but I use the adjustment brush to do a lot of things. I do it when I want to do a little bit of spot adjustment to, like, an exposure. Maybe under the eyes are a little too dark. I may come under there and brighten up the eyes that a little bit. Or heck,
I got to learn how to use this.
Zoom all the way in, and like my son's eyes are blue already. I can zoom into his eye and enhance just the blue in his eye.
That's awesome.
Yeah, those adjustment brushes are awesome for sure. But the one thing nice about doing the clarity is that then you don't have to paint it on, so it takes less time.
But it doesn't.
Yeah.
That is a great tip that I bet most people never think of.
Going the
opposite way.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
You said that you do a sharpening in Photoshop. Do you guys not use the sharpening in Lightroom?
No, and you know, we honestly haven't spent a lot of time deciding whether we liked it or not. Like, that was a process we had in place prior to using Lightroom, and we always have just liked the look of that. We just do 100% sharpen, the smart sharpen in Photoshop, and batch all the photos. So we're literally just, you know, clicking a button and walking away. So it hasn't really.
It's called smart sharpen.
Yeah, the smart sharpen filter.
Okay, I've never used that before.
It really gives your images a really good crisp sharpening, and depending on how sharp you like your images, sometimes it is 50%, sometimes it's 100, but pretty much across the board we sharpen it at 100%.
Wow. Well, I love how crisp and clear your images are, and they don't look rough around the edges because they're sharp. They just look legitimately
they look great.
Sharp.
It looks great. So I missed something. I was typing something and I missed what y'all just said. What did you say about how you sharpen again? Can y'all say that again?
After we've exported all of the images from Lightroom into JPEGs, we do a batch process in Photoshop, which is 100% on the Smart Sharpen tool, or the Smart Sharpen filter in Photoshop.
Okay.
And we just batch them all at once.
Yeah, because like Kathleen was saying, I'm looking at. We've been sliding through this the couple, and I can't remember their name, but it's the couple. The female has freckles.
Becky and Paul.
Yeah, and you know, I'm sure you can't tell out in chat, anybody watching in chat, because you know we do have to degrade it in order to get the image to transmit. But it is so nice and sharp, like Kathleen said.
Yeah. I mean, even on what you're putting over on the live stream, it's nice and sharp. You got to go see that on their website because it's just crisp and clear as a bell. Okay, so you guys send your images to shoot.edit, and they do color correction. What else do they do for you?
Exposure correction, if it's a little dark. And we have up the contrast a little bit so the images are a little bit more punchy and that kind of thing. So it's pretty much just your basic editing, and then when they come back to us, that's when we do any specialized retouching or anything like that.
So retouching of blemishes?
Yes.
Okay, or hair in the face or whatever.
Right.
And then you run it through your sharpen, and then you're done.
Yep.
Love it. I love it.
That is awesome.
Very cool. And then any black and whites or any kind of something special you guys do too, right?
Yeah, we do some black and white. So we'll just usually if the shot is like a little bit moodier or something, we'll make it black and white. And we go through every single image when we get them back from shoot.edit. So it's not like we're just like done immediately.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, we don't want to make it out to be that easy. You just
that would be easy.
It takes a few weeks for a reason.
You know, one of the things I've done is I've taken, like when I do a shoot, and I'm not a professional, I'm just a hobbyist, so I have different latitude than everybody else. I'll take a shoot and I'll edit them, and then I'll take the ones that I've picked. Let's say there's 30 of them or something I've picked. I'll highlight all of them, make virtual copies of all of them in Lightroom, convert them all to black and white, and then because I still have them highlighted, I can look at them and say, is there any one of these that I like as a black and white? And if there is, I'll hold the control key down, click on that one so it's saved, and then hit delete and delete all the rest of them. So that, I've got those virtual copies, I can see what they look like in black and white, but I don't have to retain that.
Right.
Yeah, that's nice.
How are you guys processing your black and whites?
We
Do you have a
use,
special way or a couple different ways?
We use a Kevin Kubota Lightroom set that has a particularly, it's called like chocolate black and white, so it has a real warm tone to it. And we use that on most images. There's also another one called Mocha that is similar but not quite as contrasty, so we kind of do between those two.
Okay, so my thing about presets is that the ones that I've tried have all been free ones, mind you, but I feel like they just scream, you just used a preset. And like in Lightroom, when you use an action, you can lower the opacity of all the different layers and tone it down and make it so it feels like you versus it feels like whoever you just bought it from.
Photoshop.
So how do you, sorry, in Photoshop. So how do you do that in Lightroom?
Kevin Kubota sells a pack of actions that are specific to Lightroom. And you just have them over, like on the left-hand side in the Develop Tools module, there's presets that Lightroom has built in that you can use. You can also import ones that you get elsewhere or even create your own. And then you can apply that once it's in Lightroom, so you still have the ability to tweak it really easily without there being any kind of destructive editing.
And you're just tweaking the sliders on the side versus like lowering the opacity.
Right.
Okay, gotcha. Very cool. Because I use a creamy chocolate black and white. I think it's Pioneer Woman. And it's my favorite one, too, for the same reason. It kind of gives you a little bit more dimension versus it just being a straight-up black and white. We have a guest. I'm sorry. This is He's out of bed. I'm not dealing with it right now. I'll deal with it later.
Well, and that brings up a point here, Kathleen, is that we're getting to the hour and a half, and we wanted to keep these an hour, but we keep having good guests like Ryan and Denise, but we can't fit everything we want to do in 1 hour.
Yeah.
But so, how about we open up the chat and see if there's any questions out there in chat, and then we'll let Ryan and Denise go. Here.
Sorry about the picture quality. I opened up the window and now it's dark out.
It's dark. So.
That's all right. So out there in chat, any questions?
It'll take a couple of seconds. Right?
Yeah, the chat room the feed runs a little bit behind us. And then after we get done with questions, Ryan, Denise, we'll close the show out. But if you'll hold out for 1 minute after that, and then we'll have a quick chat afterwards.
All right.
It looks like we got a lot of people interested in Lightroom, wanting to try that out.
Do it.
Moving back to Tulsa, Oklahoma soon, and I think she missed part of the sentence.
Yes, and I.
Do you guys do video at your weddings?
No. We leave that to the videographers.
Yeah.
It's a cool idea. We've just never really toyed with the idea of doing anything like fusion.
It's a whole other element. I would feel like you would need someone there who's committed to the video, or you'd be torn. And maybe I'm wrong because I've never done both, but that's what I think I would feel like.
Plus, right now our cameras don't do video. So.
Soon.
That's right. The 700 doesn't. Do you give clients a CD of the images, or how do you give the clients images?
Sure. We actually use this program. We do give a disk of images if they want it. But we use this program called Pass, and we can actually upload all of our images to Pass, and it's basically that we put them in the cloud. So as soon as we're done editing them, they can get them. They don't have to wait a week for the disk to come in the mail. They don't. They're there for them to put on Facebook and to download onto their computer, and then they can burn their own disk if they want, or they can wait for ours.
And all they have to do is download a real quick piece of software. It just opens it up as a gallery of their images. They can share directly to Facebook from there, which is an awesome interface. It actually puts, like, we can share one on our Facebook page if anybody wants to see it, but it basically puts one image and then a gallery of images that you can navigate without leaving Facebook. So
That's
it's
awesome.
really awesome.
Yeah. And there's an iPhone app for it and an iPad app, so you can have all
anywhere.
your pictures from your wedding on your
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And do you guys pay monthly for that?
You pay per event. So a wedding would be $29.
Yeah, and we actually use like the same past gallery. They have it for up to 1 year, and you can actually purchase a 5-year option too. And we include like a couple's engagement session and their wedding, so it's all kind of in one chunk.
Yeah,
Tim,
that's nice.
Tim, did you get the name of that?
No, I was just going to ask, what was the name of that website?
It's called PASS, P-A-S-S.
If you want to check it out, go to passpremiere.com, and that has all the information. There's an awesome little video that kind of explains what it does and how it works.
How do you guys, the next question is, how do you guys advertise yourself? How are you getting new clients?
Word of mouth.
Yeah, pretty much all word of mouth.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time really paying attention to really catering to our past clients, and we go as far as giving them gifts. We do anniversary cards, Christmas cards, all that kind of stuff. So it really gets them talking about us more. Because people are going to forget who shot their wedding. We're not that important of people for them to remember all the time. So
as fun as you guys are,
we want to constantly throughout the years remind them that we shot their wedding, and that way, if one of their friends is getting married or something, then we'll be at the front of their minds.
Yeah, one thing we've definitely learned is like if the phone's not ringing, start connecting with your past clients, and it'll start ringing again.
that is a great idea, to stay in touch with your past clients by sending them Christmas cards and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys ever want to do any other style of photography, like branching out into seniors or kids or anything like that, families?
They actually do. I just didn't.
Only for our past brides, we do maternity sessions and newborn sessions and 1-year sessions. But we really don't. We're not. We actually took that off our website now. We don't advertise that. We want to specialize in weddings, but we want to be nice to our past clients.
Yeah, we like to keep our clients in the family for sure, but our passion is truly working with couples. And senior sessions are fun. We've done a little bit of everything, so we have experienced what all those other specialties are like, and couples just suits us to a T.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it shows in your pictures.
Thank you.
One question I had on the CD/DVDs or using Pass, is that full quality you're giving them, or is it reduced quality pictures?
Yeah, we give high-res pictures to everybody. I don't know, we don't care. They can have as big of a file as they want. We don't make our money in print sales. I don't know if a lot of other people do, but...
No, I'm the same way that you guys are. My money is not in print sales. I offer prints because I want, to offer it to my clients if they need it. I want to be there for them for that, but... Yeah. For me, if I wanted to be a printing company, I would have been a printing company, but I want to be a photographer. And so I'd rather make the money off of the image itself and just sell it and let them have it exactly the way that they want it, and then, encourage them to get them printed with a great printing company or through me. But ultimately, I just don't really care about the control.
And so let's take this as the last question. And they were asking, can they print from this place called Pass? Can they print from there anywhere they want to?
Uh-oh, we have a frozen Ryan.
And I got the message a little bit ago saying, am I still there?
That's what's happened to them. I got it too.
Yeah, but they would have just... They were on a good 20 minutes after us, though.
Mm.
I don't know how precise it is. Oh, we just lost them.
Yeah, we lost them. Well, then that's a show.
Well, we'll give them a minute to see if they can come back. We'll try and get Anna's question there answered. And while we're waiting, wrap it. Jim says wrap it. Oh, I think they're coming back.
Sorry.
You lost it.
Did you get the message that said, are you still here?
No.
Oh,
We
okay.
actually,
She was trying to plug in a light and she accidentally unplugged the router.
no, not the light. It had like 2% battery left. After relocating, we left the cord in the other room, so I'm like, this is going to die. And I unplugged the router to plug it in. Duh.
Well, we just have one last question, and then we'll wrap up here. And that's from the pass that you use. Can they print from that wherever they want, or do they have to print through you?
They can print wherever they want. We actually suggest that they go through our lab. We use Bayphoto. We suggest that they go through our company because we know that they're going to have amazing work and it's going to be like right on. But if they want to take it to wherever, Walgreens or something, that they can.
They've got the images, so it's their choice.
And what was the name of your lab again?
Bayphoto?
Yeah, we go through SmugMug, and Bayphoto is one of their options, so they're the lab we're currently using.
Okay. Okay. I'm just Tim putting it in the show notes there. All right. Thank you guys for coming. And there's a guy out in chat called Jim who is my sort of like my mentor in podcasting, and he runs the Home Tech Show on Thursday nights. So if anybody wants to go see that over on averageguy.tv, that's a real good show. Sometimes I'm on that show as a guest. But as you go to leave, don't do this until you're ready to leave. But there's a link below the chat. That like a Google ad, no telling what it is for you. Mine says something about Rackspace. It's a online website or something for status storage. But you click that thing as you go to leave, and it'll give us the show a small credit. And don't forget, the Lightroom giveaway runs through the end of March. There's a link up there that says jpeg2RAW giveaway, and that's how you enter it to win Lightroom, and we'll be giving it away sometime in April. All right.
Ryan
Everybody?
and Denise, thank you guys so much for coming on the show. You guys were great guests, and
Great team.
Absolutely.
we loved drooling all over your pictures and getting your tip.
Yeah, I so look forward to having you guys on the show. I'm glad we're able to work this out.
Absolutely. Sorry about all the technical issues.
That's okay, it's no problem.
Yeah, we all have them. I've been, had all my own here lately. But everybody out in chat, thank you for coming. Ryan and Denise, thank you for coming. And hold on for 1 minute, and we'll see you again next week. Everybody.
Good night, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.